Peace, everybody. Sweet Science Boxing Academy. We back with another video. Okay, so we just had some good fights last night. We had Keyshawn Davis versus Francisco Pantera. And the main event, we had George Kambosos versus Maxi Hughes. Now, this was a controversial decision because a lot of people believe that Maxi Hughes got robbed last night. And I kind of felt like maybe he did get a little robbed because he was working George Kambosos. First off, he was southpaw. He was real crafty. He was real methodical, economical. He may have been too economical, but he was letting off, especially in the second half of the fight. Now, I think that they robbed my man Maxi because they want to set up a big fight between George Kambosos and Shakur Stevenson, or either George Kambosos and Lomachenko. We got ourselves a love triangle right here with these three because it seemed like the powers that be got some plans for these three. But as far as this fight, I don't think George Kambosos was using his jab enough. He kept trying to rush in and use some hard combinations like how he was doing with Devin Haney. And he kept moving to my man left. Like, if you're orthodox, step to your left. Don't keep stepping to your right, because when you do that against a southpaw fighter, you're going straight into their left hand, which is the power hand. And Maxi catching him with that left. I think if Maxi Hughes would have put on the pressure a little bit more instead of being too economical, he could have possibly stopped Kambosos later on in the fight. So now George Kambosos is 21-2 with 10 KOs. He's 30 years old, from Australia. He stands at a height of 5'9" with a 68-inch arm reach, and he's the orthodox stance fighter. And he now holds the IBO world title, which is kind of like the B class of the major sanctioning bodies. I put the IBO title right below the WBA regular title. But now George Kambosos beat Ray game Maxi Hughes, who's now 26-6-2 with 5 KOs. He's 33 years old, from the UK. Southpaw, of course, and very, very tricky. I don't think that he get enough credit. He beat Kid Galahad in his last fight, and he got people like John O'Carroll and Liam Walsh on his resume. Although he lost to Liam Walsh, it was still a very good fight. And ever since that loss, he was on a 7-win streak. It should have been 8 against Kambosos, but we all see how that turned out. And I guess that's why sometimes fighters, they try to stop people, because you don't want to leave it into the judges' hands. Because when you leave it into the judges' hands, you get things like this because of politics and agendas and plans. And the plan is for George Kambosos to fight Shakur Stevenson, because I'm assuming the powers that be, they want to use George and Shakur as a gauge finder, because Haney fought George Kambosos twice. So I guess they want to see if Shakur can probably get him out of there. Which Shakur did tell him to his face after the fight that he would stop him. So we could possibly see this fight later on this year or sometime early next year. But as far as Maxi Hughes, I think he just need to go back to the drawing board, work on a new game plan, maybe be a little more active in his approach, and he'll be cool, because he's a real good fighter. And he got a lot of respect from a lot of people. The crowd thought that he won. A lot of the other people in boxing believed that he won. I was watching an interview with Tim Bradley. He believed that he won as well. Shakur believed that he won. A lot of people believe that he won. So I don't even think that he needs to probably feel real bad about this. I'm sure he feel bad for the decision, but his stock just risen. And George Kambosos, if he fights Shakur Stevenson next, I think that would be a bad decision. I think George plans is to fight Lomachenko next. If he have it his way, he'll fight Lomachenko instead of Shakur. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But that's all I got for now. Let me know what y'all think. Drop your comments down below. Make sure I hit the like, subscribe, and hit the bell. I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.